Hey folks, it's Rithgar here, how you doing? I know I said I would try to get a lot of this ploughing done before this episode, and I haven't, so yeah, I haven't fulfilled my end of the bargain this week. Unfortunately, I have been extremely busy, and I just have not been able to fit it in. I have done some more. I've sort of done an outline on that field there and done everything in it, and what I was going to do today is I was going to finish doing the outline, which is just that one there. That's all we've got left to outline, and then we're done with the outlining. It's not worth bothering with that down there. Now, I did speak to you all last week saying, what would you think of the idea of me getting a bigger plough, altering it, and then like literally ploughing up every single millimetre of this map. And for some reason, I could not remember the name of the metric system. I was here struggling to come up. I knew it was imperial, and then I could not remember metric. I absolutely couldn't remember. So thank you to everybody that did point out that it is actually the metric system. And yeah, I've no idea why I forgot that, because I've been learning the metric system since I first went to school. That's what we study here in the UK. But anyway, yeah. So for whatever reason, my mind drew a blank on that one. That bit aside, I was actually surprised that the comments sort of were about half and half as far as do we plough up the entire map. I mean literally everything, like right through the town, everything. It was nearly half and half. It was slightly in favour of keeping it with what we've done. Main reason being is most people that said that, we've done all the outlines now, and so it would kind of be a week of wasted work by going back through and then just obliterating all of that work that we've done. So we wanted to keep that. Someone pointed out, and I cannot remember who it was, but I did like the comment was very good. It was along the lines of, if you're gonna go crazy, don't go full crazy. Just I can't even remember how it went, but it was something along the lines of going crazy is good, but you still want to avoid going full crazy. So we've avoided going full crazy this time. We will go full crazy another time, and we will do that, but this time we're not going to. We're going to stay within the lines, and we're going to. So we're going insane, but we're not going completely insane. That's kind of what we're doing here. That's what we're pushing for on this particular version of the unrealistic series. So that brings me to my weekly question. Now, last week's weekly question, I asked you the frame rate in the top left-hand corner that you can see there is a solid 60 at the moment. Several of you want to know my PC specs. I can't actually remember all of them. I've got like a 3.4 gig processor with, I think it's 8 cores on it. Might be 16 cores. No, I think it's 8 cores. And I've got a GeForce GTX 1070 8GB graphics card, 32GB of memory, and yeah, I can't remember the exact specs. I did have it written down somewhere. I will try to find it so that I can read it out and give you the exact numbers on it. But it is a fairly good system. It's kind of deteriorated a little bit in comparison to top spec systems because I've had it for nearly a year now. And no, I've had it for more than a year now. So yeah, when I bought it, it was pretty much top of the range. There was another level above me, but that's the kind of level that you can only buy when you're willing to spend silly money on it, and it doesn't really give you any benefits to buying the silly money compared to the just, well, that's insane money. This one was still silly money. You move up a level to insane money. It doesn't really give you much of an edge over spending the silly money. So I just stuck with the silly money. So yeah, I do have a very powerful system, and so that's why we're able to do this. I was having some issues with the frame rates when I first started recording this, when I was taking a tour of the map, and that's why we run this map on medium settings, and that's how I'm able to get my good solid 60 frames a second. I may try just upping it a little bit, but I don't think I will anytime soon. It might be just for a final episode. At the moment, everything seems to be working, and I really do like the approach to, if it's not broke, don't fix it. I really, really don't like the idea of trying to fix it when it's not broken. And as it's not broken at the moment, let's just leave it at that, because it could go horribly wrong. It wasn't working very well at all when we first came to this map. So my question for this week isn't just about this series. It's about the other series that I do as well. Well, not the realistic one. It's about the time-lapse series and about this series. Now, I've asked this week, in yesterday's time-lapse episode, I just put up a question. I didn't mention it anywhere, I just added in a question asking what you'd like me to do next on the time-lapse map. Did you want me to do Sandy Bay as planned? Did you want me to do something like West Coast or Colborough Park Farm or something like that? Or did you want me to go and do a logging map where I start with a forestry map, something like the Pacific Inlet, or what I think it's called Pacific Inlet, something like that map, and then as we work our way through the map, we clear all the trees, we make our own fields, and we sort of go at it from there. Very similar to the hard-working time-lapse series that I did at the end. It was the last time-lapse series I did in FS15, and I really enjoyed that map. I really enjoyed doing the series. So what I'm asking you today is, would you like to see such a series? I mean, at the moment it's looking like everybody wants me to do my next time-lapse series on Sandy Bay as I originally planned. So I'm probably just going to stick with that. I probably won't worry about doing any extra votes or questions about that with regards to the time-lapse. I'll just stick with it because at the moment the vote is looking very strongly in favour of sticking with the original plan. So I see no reason to sort of go and mess that up. Right, we've got a nice little island there, so we just need to plough out this road down through here. But the whole doing the forestry thing, I really want to do that. I really like the idea of having a forestry map. It won't have any animals on it, that's the only thing, and the hard-working one that had animals on it as well, so you had the option for doing both. You could kind of do whatever you wanted on that one. And it was such great, I really did have great fun cutting all the trees down, removing all the stumps, and then going and actually making your own fields on the map. It was really good fun. It was an enjoyable experience doing that, and I want to do it again. So I'm asking you this week, would you prefer to see that here on the Unrealistic series, or would you prefer to see that in the final time-lapse series? It's looking like Sandy Bay is going to be the next one. We've got time for two full series after I finish Dowland Farm, which is got at least another 10 weeks to run yet. But after I finish Dowland Farm, I will have time for 2 more time-lapse series before I finish in FS17 and we move on to FS19. With a 2-year window, if you take around about 40 to 50 episodes per time-lapse, you've got enough time to do 4 time-lapses. I did do sort of a little bit extra because we did some in Rattlesnake Valley. Unfortunately, that went all a little bit pear-shaped, and so we weren't able to finish it. That was unfortunate, but generally speaking, we can do 4 time-lapse series. So we're running on, if you ignore the Rattlesnake Valley, because we weren't on there for very long, we're on a second one, Dowland Farm, so we've got 2 more. Sandy Bay is one of them. What's the last one going to be? So I'm putting out feelers to see what people might think of different ideas and how we can approach it. I don't want to repeat stuff that we've already done. I want to have something new, fresh, unique, that's different, that isn't done in other Let's Plays or anything like that. So at the moment, it's kind of looking like a forestry map is not going to be that bad an idea, because it doesn't... a lot of people seem to like the idea of... I've been getting some positive feedback on this idea. So my question for the week... Right, what do we got here? We're going to finish out this one here. That one's done. That one... No, that's not done. I thought I'd finished on field 24. We haven't finished on field 24. Let's go back and finish field 24 first. Let's go up there and F11, and I want to go down this side. There we go. Right. Yeah. What do you want me to do for the idea of the forestry map? Do you want to see the forestry map where I go for something like Pacific Inlet? It may not necessarily be that map. And then... It starts off as an entirely logging map, so you start off by doing the forestry work and so on, and you clear a load of trees, then you get your ploughs out and you start ploughing up some of the land where the trees were, and you start planting your crops, and you turn the whole map basically into, well, not the whole map, areas of the map where you can at least make fields, you turn that into arable land. So that is what we would do. So do you want to see that as a time-lapse series, which would be a long-running time-lapse series for almost 6 months? Or do you want to see that as part of an unrealistic series, which we would run for probably 3 months? Something like that, maybe a little bit less. So it's your vote, it's your game. Head in the comment section down below, let us know which one you want and why. And of course, don't forget to actually cast your vote in the top right-hand corner. Do you want me to do a logging map where we start out as... Oops, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do that for a minute and move over here. Where we start out with a logging map and we work our way up to arable farming on that map. Do you want to see that as the time-lapse series? Or do you want to see it here on an unrealistic series? Also, get into the comment section today and give me all of your views and opinions on this idea. I want to hear everything you've got to say about it. Everything. Whether you think it's a if you think it's a really bad idea and I should just steer clear of this idea completely on both series and just not do it, I want to know. And I want to know why. Why do you really hate this idea? What's wrong with the idea? What do you have against it? If you really like it, why do you like it? Why do you want to see it? I want to hear everybody's views and opinions on this. It's really important to me to know what everybody's thinking about this, because it's... whichever one I do, it's kind of a big thing. It's you know, being part of a series, it's going to be sort of big. It'd be a major part of the channel. So why do you want to see it or not want to see it? And we're going to plough up all of this fertilizer that we've got down here, and we're going to get rid of most of that today. And we're going to finish ploughing out this bit here. I just want to go round the outline on these couple of trees here, and then once we've done this bit, I've actually modified another plough to be wider than this one. It's not a trailed plough though, so it might end up giving us a bit of a weird result. It's wider, it's definitely wider than this one, and I don't know how weird it's going to be. It might actually work quite well because of it being a bit wider, but it's solid. It should be a little bit easier to like put in the right place to carve out our various routes and stuff that we want to do. So we will see once I get started on that one, but I want to finish this area here with this plough, I think. Or do I? Let's take a look a minute. That's everything. So we've done that one, we've done that one, and we've done that one. These here are quite small, so we can finish those off very quickly, and it's not going to take very much longer to do that. This great big one, we've got a little bit more still to do up around the top, and then that is done as well. So maybe we'll go and get the other plough in a minute. But what we're going to do first, much more importantly, is we are going to go to these two here. Now, look, see, this whole thing with this patch. There's this patch right here. It's a really, really frustrating patch, and it will not harvest, or at least it won't with the hired help. We're going to have to do this manually. So I'm going to do one little bit manually, one more little bit. I've picked up most of it now. I have done most of it. I've sort of put the hired help going in different places. So we've gotten the majority of all of the sugar beet on this map is all picked up. Almost everything. Let's just grab that little bit there. You know what? That is enough. I know I apologize to the OCD people. And yes, it hurts my OCD as much as it hurts yours. Why are we racing across the map? We don't need to do that. We don't need to be so uncouth. We don't need to worry about little things like that. What we can do is we can go and press warning, better if the combine harvester is empty. Oh. Okay. I was thinking that we could go up across, but as it's giving us a warning like that, it might be better if we don't. It could end up causing us some issues. So we are going to go herring up across the map, and we're going to try to tip all of this into the gorge up there. And this one is holding a fraction under 4 million litres of sugar beet. Now, we've become accustomed to massive numbers and things like that on this series. So 4 million litres of sugar beet. I don't actually know what that would translate to in weight, but I mean, you're looking at... I mean, if you said it was 1,000 litres per tonne, you're looking at 4,000 tonnes of sugar beet. But I don't think it would be that much because of the large gaps in between. And I know the sugar beet is quite a heavy crop, but I don't think it would be that heavy. So, I mean, even if you said half that, we've still got 2,000 tonnes of sugar beet. That's a phenomenal amount of sugar beet. That is a massive weight. It's like kind of blow your mind kind of size. It's really big. And the time that it's actually, we're doing 60 miles an hour, and it's still taking us a fair time to get across here. We've still got to plough all of this up. What I am going to do with the ploughing we are going to take a little bit longer to do the ploughing. We're going to have to, because I didn't have time to do it all. I'm not going to have time to do it all off screen. And I did sort of say this to start with, that we would end up having to do quite a bit, and we could be here for a couple of weeks doing ploughing. The thing is, though, once the ploughing is done, I'm going to get a seed drill. I was thinking about like putting the hired help going on some of it, and maybe we will still put the hired help going on some of it, but the majority of it is now going to be done slightly differently. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a seed drill, a direct seed drill, so it doesn't matter about because we're not going to plough the middle of the fields, we're just going to do all the edges, we're just going to plough them all up. So we need a direct drill so that it will cover everything. It's got to be a direct drill, we've got no choice on that, so that it will then drill all the fields as well. I'm going to make that one really, really wide. It's going to be like an eighth of the width of the map, so absolutely massive, and we're going to drag that one around the map, and that is the one that we're going to use to hopefully put everything out and get the entire map covered. Now, I've asked several times what sort of crops people would like to see. A few people said they'd like to see beans on a massive scale. I'm not sure why. And I don't actually know why you want beans. It seems, I got to be honest, it seemed a bit of an odd request. All of these different ones that I was asking for, and beans came up. And I really don't know why beans. What's so special about beans? I've actually gone the wrong way here, haven't I? No, I haven't. I went across the bridge, and where do I need to be? I went across that bridge. Where's the bit? Oh, I need to go through here, don't I? I need to go over through this little bit here, through this road that goes through the mud down there, and then come back up, and we want to head over this way. So we've still got quite a bit that needs ploughing in the middle here. And I want to go over to... Oh, no, it's there. There's the sugar beet. Kind of spinning round. And we want to tip it into the gorge here. So, if we can come over that way, and I can stop there, we want to... Basically, we're just going to move along here, and we're going to tip in as much as we can. The problem is, it puts a big lump right underneath us, and then we can't do anything with it. So, if I just stop that a minute, and... I'm getting hopelessly stuck already. This is the really difficult bit about it, is that it does get you stuck, and you can't move. So let's go over here and try and do this a little bit more. It would be really good if we could have like a longer spout to tip it out. Let's come over there a little bit more. And maybe we'll try the trailer with one of them. Let's try tipping there and see what that does. Now, the problem with the tipping is you're limited on the amount of height, obviously. You've got 4 meters of height. So I'm still not sure exactly how that works out when like the game is calculating where the height has come off. Is it like 4 meters in every direction, or is it just 4 meters straight up? How does it figure it out? How does it decide where exactly the 4 meter mark is? And I think that we've successfully reached 4 meters high there. That is going a little bit too high. So I need to bounce my way back over here. But now that we've sort of got a ledge that we can work from now, so I'm hoping that I can start tipping more here, and we're actually going to fill this gorge up completely. Right, it's very low down in the gorge, but it is covering the water. It's definitely covering the water, which is absolutely brilliant. That is some pile of sugar beet that we got here. Whoa! Right, what we're going to do just to make this a little bit easier, if I stop tipping a second, we'll go to the shop and go to the garage, and then we're going to sell the 3 headers that we've got on the sugar beet harvesters. That should make it a little bit easier to do the moving around and tipping out. So we sell that one, yep, and we sell that one, yep, and finally we sell that one. There we go, right. That should hopefully make it a little bit easier to do the tipping out. So if I start tipping again, what's it going to do? That's just... It's kind of tipping, but it is not doing a great deal. Move back round. Right, it brings it out slowly, slowly, slowly. And because we are managing to lean quite far over, so it is kind of effective. And what we want to do is we wanted to fill the gorge right up if we could. Somebody did suggest that I should try altering the height of the tip anywhere on the map. I don't even know if that's possible, to be honest. That's kind of like hard-coded into the main game, and I genuinely got no idea if it's actually physically possible to change the actual height that you can tip. I mean, we've now tipped out over 1.5 million litres. What do we have? We had almost 4 million, so we've probably tipped 2.5 million litres into the gorge already. And it is going to step down. We're going to have to kind of fall off the edge here a little bit in a minute, which we will do. We'll do it in a minute. We just need to come over through here. I want to make sure that we get as many sugar beet into that middle bit as we possibly can before we start moving closer. Come down the hill. Fortunately, no matter how steep you go in this game, you never actually seem to tip over. I do love that. Look at that. Look at that thing. Oh, that's brilliant. That is absolutely fantastic. Look how far over it is. We don't worry about the laws of physics around here. That's not a problem. We laugh at the face of physics. We really do. I love this. Right, let's just go easy here. I don't want to like stick loads of it underneath me because it kind of jumps you up into the air and then does weird things. So let's move up this way. Right, if I can stop tipping now. Now the idea is now we want to get... No, we're not going to be able to get through there, and if I'm not careful I'm going to get stuck. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move up here, and I am going to try to just jump over this little bit of the gorge. A lot of people have been asking me all these different vehicles to jump over the gorge and jump all kinds of things over the gorge. I absolutely agree. We should be jumping more stuff. And once we've done the ploughing, the ploughing is going to be a difficult bit. It's difficult to get accurate, because I do want to get this accurate, because it did seem that more people wanted me to sort of make it reasonably accurate. Right, so we can easily get over the gorge now. That no longer seems to be a problem. No longer seems to be any kind of difficulty involved with getting across that gorge. So now if we can bring this one over here, we can start tipping again, and any last tiny little bit of space that might be left underneath that water is now going to be filled up. Obviously we're not going to be able to tip, we're not going to be able to fill very much. I might, when we're done, once we've put all this sugar beet here, I am very tempted to just take the plough and run along the edge of the gorge just to completely obliterate everything. It'll all be gone. That'll be it. The end of it. There is one. So there is one emptied. So let's just park that one up there a minute. We'll do something with that in a minute. I'm not quite sure what. Stop you, and we go to the next one. Right, this one has got 8.7 million litres of sugar beet, and it's at the wrong end of the field, so we got to get all the way up to the other end. So if I go spinning around like that, I'll meet you up by the gorge. The gorge sort of appearing on the horizon like this and coming into view. Gorgeous gorge, isn't it? Gorgeous. Okay, yeah, that was terrible. I won't do that again. What I was actually thinking on the way over here is there is something that I would like to try. And I think that deeper pit over there is the perfect place to try it. So we're going to go to this one. And let's fold it up while we're going along. So what we want to do is we want to move this one over this way. Now, can I get back across to that side of the gorge first? That's the first thing that we're going to find out. We're going to go at speed. I don't know if we're going to be able to make it, because it is quite a steep ramp. And actually, I think I've parked that other harvester right in the way of where I want to go. That's okay. We'll work around that. So if I could back up a little bit further, I want to get straight through there so that I'm on that side of the gorge. I think we're close enough. We should get close enough to full speed by the time we get over there. Yep, that's fine. So we want to go straight down through here and up and... Oh! Okay, there is no way that we're going all the way up there, and it actually looks like we might not be going anywhere at all. Oh no, we can. We can back up. So we can't quite get all the way across. That's okay. I don't really need to get all the way across. No, what I'd like to do is I want to come over here and careful not to slide too much. I want to drive in there. Do not drive too deeply in the water. So, we have a sugar beet harvester that is now stuck under the water. So if I come over to this one, we need to be careful with this one because this one has 8.7 million litres of sugar beet on board, and we don't want to waste it. We do not want to lose it. We don't want to waste it. So I don't want to slide down that bank. So I've got to be up here, and I've got to be very, very careful how I do this. What I want to do is I want to tip sugar beet in there until such time as that harvester down there comes back to the surface again. So if we drive over on this bit, are we going to slide down the bank? Doesn't look like it. We should be okay. I want to get just down to almost the water's edge. I don't want to go too far because it is a little bit steep there in one place. But this, I think, should be okay. So I put the spout out like that. I'm going to remove the map so that we can see better. And we can start tipping. Is it going to lift that harvester up out of the way, or is it just going to tip it round the harvester? That's the big question. I don't really like the way that it's building up underneath me. That's not very useful. So we're going to have to come back this way. Nope, it's not letting me go. Build it up there. The sugar beet harvester that is in the water there is still running. It's still actually, I can hear the engine on. And that's... It's probably not doing the engine a lot of good. I got to be honest with you. I really don't think that is going to do the engine a lot of good at all. From my experience with playing Car Mechanic Simulator in 2018, many of you probably know that I'm not very good at mending cars. I'm not very good at mending engines, full stop. It's just not my strong point. Mending engines of any kind is not something that Frithgar was ever really meant to do. Everybody's got their weak points, and everybody's got their strong points. Now, not quite sure what most of my strong points are. I'm sure there are some there somewhere, but weak points are definitely to do with repairing engines. This is not going to happen. So this, however, this is happening. This is actually starting to work. If we can just sort of move around a little bit. I don't want to go too far in. Don't tip over. Whatever you do, don't tip over. That is crazy. Okay, that is not kind of... Oh, I love that picture. That is a fantastic picture. That is definitely going to be our screenshot for today. That is brilliant. So we are actually able to tip some sugar beet in here, but it's not working brilliantly. I mean, it could definitely work a little bit better than it is. I want to try... I can't get too close to the edge, or this one's just going to tip in, and we're going to waste 6.8 million litres of sugar beet. And I really, really don't want to waste that much sugar beet. That is a very, very expensive thing to waste. Very expensive quantity to waste. It's back up there. Now, what's it going to do when we get to the end of this heap? It's going to be alright, I think. So, if we've gone past the steepest bit, if I move over this way... Oh, no, it's filling up a little bit more. It's filling it a little bit more. If I can back up and I just want to get up the hill just a little tiny bit so that I can tip some more out. We're going to finish doing this tomorrow. We're going to put every single sugar beet that we've got into this gorge. One way or another, we're going to find a way to do this. And... Whoa, 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 whoa! No, 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 no! Don't fall in! Don't fall in! Oh. Okay. We're okay. We've still got 6 million litres of sugar beet to tip out. we really don't want to waste it. So we can bring this round, and we're going to see if we can lever that harvester there up out of the water. And if it will... I don't think you can start it again even if you do. I think once it's gone in, that's it. It's done. There's no coming back from that. That's kind of... It's game over for your sugar beet harvester. We just back up a little bit and... Come on round. We've got this little bit here that we can fill up. So it should be much less likely that we encounter serious problems if I can sort of fill most of this area here. And I just want to get up onto this bump a little bit, actually. Nope, it looks like I'm going to get myself completely and utterly hopelessly stuck up there. Let's stop tipping for a minute and try to get ourselves off of this bit. Go on. Go on. You can do this. Right, so we've got off of that bit. And I tell you what, that is starting to look quite promising, actually. We might be able to rescue that sugar beet harvester that is in the water. It's going to require a lot of our sugar beet, and I dread to think how much actual money value that is. Let's see. Let's just take a quick look. Sugar beet, we can get... I reckon we could comfortably say $200 a ton, $200 per 1,000 litres, and we've got 8 million in this one, 8 million in another one, we're 4 million there, so we got 16. We got 20 million litres of sugar beet at $200 per 1,000, so that's 20 million is 20,000 times 200. Hang on, let me get my calculator. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna type this into my calculator right now. So we got what did I say? We're 20 million. Oh, actually, we don't want that. We just we want the 20,000 times 200, and that would give us. Is that it? If we were to get $200 per ton per 1,000 litres, we get $4 million. Okay, I probably should have been able to figure that out without going to a calculator. But anyway, $4 million. So if we manage to get a great demand, we could double that. We could have $8 million. So, 8 million. Is it worth spending 8 million in sugar beet in order to dig out a $250,000 worth of harvester? That's a debatable question, that really is. But anyway, we have run out of time. We ran out of time a little while ago, and I kept talking. So we really need to wrap things up now. My question for this week is, I am really wanting to do a forestry map. A sort of forestry map where the entire map is forestry, but there is at least one sell point for selling arable crops, and there is a BGA built into the map as well, so that we start out doing forestry, but we build ourselves up. We cut down like loads of trees and everything, and we build up to actually doing full arable crop farming, and maybe plant some grass fields as well, do some silage at the BGA and make some money like that. It was kind of the premise behind the hard-working time-lapse that I finished up in FS15 with. Would you like to see me do such a map on this unrealistic series, which would probably come after we do the Australian map, or would you prefer me to see me do a map like that in the time-lapse series? It'd be the final time-lapse series that we do here on FS17. So do you want it to be time-lapse, or do you want it to be on unrealistic? And I also want to hear all views and opinions on this, and whether or not you absolutely hate the idea of it full stop. As well, I'd also like to hear that, and why you really don't like it, that sort of thing. But anyway, it's your vote, it's your game. Head into the comment section down below, let us know which one you want and why, and of course don't forget to actually cast your vote in the top right hand corner. So if you enjoyed this episode, then please head down below and give me a like, and if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me, get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. But until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.